an unbelievable story you won't believe is true. In the early 1930s, Australia faced an unusual enemy that would lead to one of the most bizarre military operations in history, the Great Emu War. The Great Depression hit Australia hard, and Western Australian farmers, already struggling with drought and economic hardship, faced another challenge. Tens of thousands of emus migrating from inland to the coast, where newly cultivated farmlands offered a feast. The emus, large flightless birds native to Australia, descended on the farmlands in droves, causing widespread destruction to crops and exacerbating the farmers' plight. Desperate for a solution, the farmers turned to the government for help. In response, the Minister of Defence, Sir George Pearce, agreed to send military assistance, armed with machine guns, to combat the avian menace. In November 1932, Major G.P.W. Meredith of the Royal Australian Artillery led a small force armed with 2 Lewis machine guns and 10,000 rounds of ammunition. The initial encounters proved disastrous. The emus scattered quickly, evading the gunfire with surprising agility. Despite their firepower, the soldiers found it nearly impossible to effectively target the emus, who would split into smaller groups and scatter, rendering the machine guns largely ineffective. The rough terrain and the birds' speed and maneuverability posed significant challenges. The media seized upon the absurdity of the situation, with newspapers and political cartoons mocking the military's inability to defeat the emus. Public opinion was divided, with some supporting the farmers and others ridiculing the government's efforts. Despite several more attempts, the military campaign failed to make a significant dent in the emu population. After a month of futile efforts, during which fewer than 1,000 emus were killed, the operation was called off. The Great Emu War ended in a stalemate, with the emus emerging largely unscathed. Farmers were left to find alternative methods to protect their crops, such as building more effective fences. The event remains a peculiar and often humorous footnote in Australian history, highlighting the unpredictable challenges of human-wildlife conflicts.